Okay, so we are live.
Hey,
Finally, live. Okay. Brooke, can you start?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we
Okay,
are live.
so hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as per your time zone. So, this is our very first live stream on Women in Cloud Native channel. I'm so excited. Like, today also marks our 1 month anniversary, and like, it feels so nice to see our progress from the day I and Nancy started this community. We have so many amazing women joining us, like Carol and Anais, and so many amazing women who are there to support everyone anytime. Yeah, Nancy. Hey, Carol, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Well, I have a slide only to, but well, I am from Peru. That's the reason that I will share my experience about translations about Spanish and Portuguese because I speak Spanish and Portuguese, and my journey to help the open source project Kubernetes to and other CNCF projects. And I will share basically this in this presentation. No? Entonces, I am happy to be with you and this awesome community of women.
Yeah, we are happy too.
Yeah, we are happy to have you. Thank you so much, Carol, for joining us today.
Yeah. So, so we know like Kubernetes. Let's start with the session. Okay, so as we know, Kubernetes is an open source system for like automating deployment, scaling, and management of containerized application, and it is currently hot in the market. So, Carol, can you share your like journey while learning the Kubernetes, and what are the challenges you faced? Uh, what you would like to share with all of us?
Yeah, I think I prepare some slides only to
Yeah,
try
yeah, sure.
really
Okay.
to have more questions and doubts and everything about this work. And I will talk about Kubernetes, glossary, and white papers. And also, I will share my particular vision about this because it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
I was working, and as I was introduced myself, I was working as a DevOps engineer and next also as a security consult. So I am very interesting about cats, cats and security in this world of containers, application security. So Kubernetes, as you say, it's very important for us. And we have many opportunities to be involved in the open source community that will be help to translate. So will be a little my sharing because I help to translate some documentations part of Kubernetes and also the glossary and white papers that I will uh, talk more deep about this. But I think in an overview only to before to go more deeper about these topics. I found very interesting this overview about that anyone could be a contributor in the community. We have like some paths, like maybe you notice that when you open a pull request in Kubernetes or in any CNCF project or another other projects that have that already has some organizations inside. We have like the approvers, the maintainers, and if it's bigger like Kubernetes, we have even managers, no, behind this. Um, like you see here, we have like some path for that. You can start as a contributor, if you uh, like it and you want to continually be there, you can be an approver and maintainer of your in this case, I will talk more about your local language, how to translate, for example, in Italy, Spanish, and other language. But I think I don't know if you have doubts about these slides or any questions. Okay, so I will continue to talk about more the Kubernetes website. So mainly, as you can see, if you go to the documentations, you will see that you can translate in several languages. And each of these language has a local group of support or people that is working in this. So, for example, I am mainly working in the Spanish community, helping to translate some parts of the documentations. And well, but you can see that also I didn't see about well, Chinese, Korean. We have several language, no? And you can start it. And here maybe is the path when you want to join it. You have several documentations to start with this. Maybe in the beginning could be a little overwhelming because a lot of information about this, but I think I am putting all the links here, but I think the first things that when you started as a beginner will be try to join to the Kubernetes community Slack, because in this specific case that is about translations, uh, after you are in the Slack community, you can go your respective locations language, for example, as the Spanish, PT, or Portuguese, uh, well, Dutch. Then in these groups, you will find local support for your specific language to help you in any to help you for the first steps about translations. And after that, that when you join it and try, how can I start my first translations about, for example, Kubernetes documentations, you will see that also have more more well documented insights of the community. Now I am putting the links, but I think I could share here a little that uh, here is the Kubernetes websites, as you can see. Mainly that we are trying to help if you try to change for any language. I will change, for example, Spanish. You will see that something, for example, in concepts about, for example, security, it's not everything translated. So you can start, sometimes it's because you are interested in some topics. You are more interested in database storage or security or maybe observability, and try to start it by there. No? So you can navigate and try to search. After you know what you want to translate, you go to the project that will be, I think, the Kubernetes websites. I think I don't have open. I will open here. Kubernetes website, that is the repository, and I will I will show some pull requests that I open, like as example how you can contribute started. Something that helped me is try to see other pull requests. For example, for each language you have some model. For example, here is already saying Spanish, and it's if it's add, new, or delete some verbs to identify, and also is the path. If you can see, is in the concept security that will be here. Concepts in security. So, I think each community, language community, has his own rules, but you can, these kind of things you can search in the pull request, If you see the labels, for example, for uh, I think it's EST languages, but you can search for other language to find the main issues that, for example, is in French or in your local language, and try to follow the rules that they are doing. Also, in the Slack community, you will find more. You can talk directly with the people that is helping the maintainers, and they have his own some additional help. Like, for example, I opened the tracking German locations only, and they have some issues that they are tracking. For example, it's I think in the Spanish also we have these some issues open, and you can see that someone is working in the blogs translations or in the documentations specifically, because I don't know if you noticed, but we have the docs, and also they have the blocks inside of Kubernetes that also is you can help to translate the Kubernetes blocks. No? That's the reason that and uh, and you can say now you started to comment on issue and say, yeah, I would like to translate this running Kubernetes, and you comment and you started the pull request that I showed before. uh, I don't know if it's a little clear with this, but at least the how I start. Any questions, doubts?
Yeah, we have one question from Senthil. He's asking, is this machine translation used or it is completely human?
Well, we have it's a human translation. We don't know that. Maybe you can help you at the beginning use some Google translation, but the process is done by humans, because we have some reviewers and maintainers that is checking that is not. Sometimes when you also do a machine translation, sometimes it's strange. So that's the reason that we have the local maintainers in the language to read it and review it. Like, for example, if I will open my pull request again. Um, when you open, maybe you can doing a machine translation, but you will notice, if you are not so well in the language, that sometimes it are strange. The reviewers, for example, here is Electro Cucaracha Victor, uh, putting some comments down. At the end, we have human reviewers to uh, be more closely to a real translation and not so machine translation, because in some cases, yeah, we have these kinds of things, but the reviewers and the approvers, it's we have the process to improve that.
Yep, Carol, you can continue.
Okay, well, this process now that we can see in the slides, that you have to do the fork of of the Kubernetes project and create your branch. It's well documented. I am putting here that at the beginning, at the end, if you can see, this is from my particular user, because already I did these steps. I forked the Kubernetes website, and I create some specific branch, and I create this pull request against the upstream project Kubernetes. But it's this. But if you have any problem, you can contact us, and also all the Kubernetes community that is here in the Kubernetes docs of your local language. That I think the best of these kind of contributions to start is that you have many people to help you. If you try to join it in the Kubernetes Slack and you put some questions and you have some doubts, uh, many people will be there for help. Hey, I think this is like my overview about translations. I don't know if you have some questions before go to the another topic.
Yeah, so this is like same as like I've heard about Kubernetes glossary. Yeah, something related to this only, right? Translation and all. or this is something different?
Sorry, can you repeat your questions?
Like,
Was
what is like Kubernetes glossary then?
uh, about translations of the Kubernetes and what will be the other word closely?
Uh, yeah, so Kubernetes has some glossary, right? So are they also translated in other languages?
Closery. What will be? Can you send me the link? I didn't get the closery.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Like I can share it later. Yep. You
Some
can.
okay. Well, send me the link because I don't get the last word
Yeah,
closely.
yeah, yeah. Sure, sure, sure.
Okay. Well, we will continue talking more Kubernetes because also they have another topic like Kubernetes release thing that maybe you will hear about and try to apply as a shadow. And this is another way that you can start to contribute with Kubernetes. And as you can see here, I don't know if you noticed, but we have like each, I think, 4 months, a new release of Kubernetes, and they have his own logos. Like for example, here, electrifying that was the last Combinator 25, and in each release we have some leads, new leads in each release, and also shadows that is trying to learn to help in this specific function. So we have the commons, release notes, docs, lead, bags, CI signal, and well, I put the link here because I know that at the beginning could be overwhelming, so many new things, but I think this is the SIG release team that is here, and they have his own handbook that you can go more deeper to understand more better what is doing. For example, docs, that is a group that I am more familiar. It's more helping with the documentations about each release. Because if you imagine, like for example, in each release we have new features. I don't know if you we have new features and also features that is removing or changing to alpha to beta, and we have to change the documentations, né? Sometimes to when you open the documentation and see this feature is deprecated or this function was removal, or explain new features, no? Maybe with blogs or with the documentations itself. So, and this kind of process is for the release specific is doing for the release team. So this is another way to try to contribute with Kubernetes. Uh, I think in my case it helped me before, because before I was helping with the translation, so I was more I unless I have more knowledge about how to do a reviewer and some steps with the process of contribute that helped me to be part of the release team of the docs teams. If you are interested, I recommend that try to also go to the Kubernetes Slacks and try to be more involved in each activity that is doing. I put it the handbook that you can see what are doing each thing. This will help you to try to be more close, and also if you apply it, it will help you to, to try to be part of the team. I don't know if you have some doubts until here.
Yeah, we don't have questions till here.
Okay. Yeah, I think only. only maybe to be more clear, when we talk about these new features or new enhancements, especially for the release thing, we see the enhancements. For example, this is the sample of the 26. You can see the enhancements that was proposed, and you can see the work now that is doing that. For example, for each thing has CI signal, enhancement shadow, release notes, and each thing has his own responsibilities. For example, I have these docs that I was part. That's the reason that I know a little more. That, for example, for this case specifically, you have the docs required. They contain docs. It was removed from the release, and then you try to help in this specific topic, no? And also you will track the pull requests of the documentations for this feature that I was talking, for example, deprecated features, moving from alpha to beta, and this is all the work that the release team is doing. In this specific case of the documentation, they are tracking that for each feature, unless you have the minimal documentations to track the changes. Okay. Yeah, I think was like a little overview only to to share with you. I don't know if you have questions to. If not, I will go to.
Yeah, I was asking about this only glossary.
Will be the glossary. I'm sorry. That was
Okay, you can continue, Carol.
okay. So this is another project that I. It's very well documented also to start to contribute. I think I recommend it if it's your first time. It's a project that the topics are very simple. It will help you to start. For example, here is the glossary CNCF. I will here. I don't know if you and you could change. I think you have your in your case is indie. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you already have your
Yeah.
language. Hindi, and well, we have many other huge. But as you can see, for example, English, you have many topics, and maybe you are interested in translate Kubernetes. And if you don't found in your language, you will try to go to the project that in this case is the glossary. I think I don't open GitHub CNCF glossary. And you can start to contribute in your language that you wanted. Here is, I think, is more a little is organized by projects, but the terms, for example, you want to open Kubernetes. Maybe you could see if some is already the issue open about, for example, here at Kubernetes, update Kubernetes term. Here is in sometimes it's like updating English itself, or you can translate. For example, here is updating the Kubernetes term in the language Spanish. Uh, Here we have projects that maybe it will be more easy for visualize. You can see the French locations progress, Chinese, Spanish, Portuguese, uh, the the issues that is open to translate. If you can see the term that is open, maybe you can create some issue. For example, I don't know, I can see that if some issue to translate is not, you can go and open and try to. Generally, we use tags in all these kind of translations. Like you can see lang for Spanish, lang in lang IT for Italian. you have here for Hindi, and you can pick some one of your language that you can help to translate. For example, here I create this issue to translate service mesh. And you can open the issue, and also maybe you can also put some comment. I would like to work on this translation. Only open the issue as first good issue, no? That and start to translate the terms. As you can see in the glossary is more specific because sometimes, for example, uh, I will open some pull request. Well, I will open any of Italy, for example, in Italy. Uh, the content is more specific, small, no? And maybe it's a good start if you want to help the community and also be involved. Uh, you can see the all the terms that is here. No? It's more about the definitions, no? And it's a good way to start. I think so because it's less complex than Kubernetes. That the texts are more bigger and more technical. And if you are also a beginner in the DevOps industry or as a DevOps engineer, this will be more easily. Uh, I don't know if you have some questions.
No, Carol, you can continue with
Okay.
this.
Um, yeah. And also, in the case of the CNCF, also they have the Slack of the CNCF glossary. The CNCF has a Slack that you can go there uh, and ask any questions because you can meet the people that is involved as a maintainer. I think my last comments to help about my experience in translation is
Mhm.
also with the white papers because if you see, we have in the CNCF no, many documents, white papers, and also need helps to translate these papers in the local language because maybe for example because I like security, I am involved. uh, that's the reason that I try to be involved to translate this security white paper, but I can imagine that they have white paper for other things like supply chains or maybe observability. It's only you can try to be curious and try to be involved with anything that you like it. In this case, for example, you see CNCF reports cloud native security, and behind this we have always a GitHub a project. And I think the way that is working is always like you can go to the Slack and try to ask any questions, but in the formal way, you have to go in the project, GitHub project, and open an issue to track, to manifest that you will work in that. So, for example, this is, I think it's here. If you can see, this is a project, the CNCF tax security. We have not only this security white paper, we have supply chain security white paper. So, uh, as you can see, it's many help that is needed in several other areas because only here is tax security. It could be another tag for another, I don't know, many groups of interest that is inside of CNCF. But in this case, that I was my sample because I was involved in it as a reason that I will talk is this security white paper, and we you can see that is a markdown. And many people, well, open an issue. For example, I would like to translate the security white paper in Chinese or this, and you start to open an issue to talk with the maintainers of this project, and they know it that you are working on that. No? For example, like here the proposal cloud native for Italian translation. They already open a pull request, I think so. That is, I think we see the pull request. here, and this is the pull request with the translations. Um, yeah, in I think in, for example, the glossary in the Kubernetes, we have like a more a formal way to help. In this case of the white papers, you have to be a little more proactive because it's like a big text, and try to close it with I don't know, with a group of active members. But I think my resume and overview is that I many things to do, and it depends that what you are interested, to help. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it was like this is my contact that if I can help you in something or any doubt about. But we can talk more doubts or anything that you are is not clear.
Uh, I have one question. Like, if there are like beginners like me, how can we like get through all these big code bases? Means this Kubernetes like documentation GitHub. It's so like so overwhelming. So how should we start by looking through those issues and like GitHub?
Yeah, I think for example, if we open I think these issues, we have the famous labels, good first issue, because for example, or even in our Spanish in community, we are thinking that some small terms that you put it especially for the people that is new, texts that are small, and you also are available to help the people that is new more attentions. So I think look for these labels and go inside of the Slack to ask or to say, I put my name in this issue, someone could help me, or yeah, just manifest yourself that you are there. That will help you. But for example, if someone do something like that, I will say, I think ping private, say, yeah, how are you, do you need some help? Because I think you need to start communications with the members that already is working there. Try to be more, try to communicate a little more, not only like put your name here and try to go to Slack, and or try to be more uh, talky people, something like that. I think it will be my advice to not to be more easily and not overwhelming, because sometimes, yeah, the documentation is very big, né? Like you can see, it's this and this and this fork. But if you already are working with like as a developer, no, yeah, the instructions are very easily. And I think also check the already pull requests that the people is doing will help you a lot. For example, if you open a pull request in your local language, I will translate in Spanish. I will try to look some another pull request that is already open, and see what is the style, because also they have some common titles. For example, if you see that you have a pattern here and you have related to the issue this, so yeah, it's like some structure. Then when I open the issue, I say, this tracking Spanish locations. So, uh, yeah, this is in the case of Kubernetes, no? Kubernetes website. But in each project has their own patterns. And so if you open another pull request that is related, your translations will be Italy, Dutch. Try to be the before pull request and see what is the common things. No? For example, you will see this related the issue for many other pull requests, no? Because it's the pattern that you are related. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you have more doubts.
Yeah, Carol. So, like, what are your learnings from being a part of the Kubernetes community? Like,
Yeah, I think for me, Annalise, the most important it was know people, nice people, because, for example, in the Spanish community, I am friend of the maintainers that I consider. I consider friends, no? Because we we support each other. They help me. It's not only about the translations, but because other topics. So I think the open source community, they have awesome people inside there. I think the people and the quality also in the technical part, it's they are very very high. So it's an opportunity to learn and know uh, incredible persons.
mhm. Yeah, thank you, Carol. Like, it was amazing presentation. I learned a lot in this. Thank you so much for sharing your learnings and all about the Kubernetes white papers. And like, I really didn't know about this Kubernetes white papers. This was really a new topic to me. Really, thank you for sharing this. And also, like, I would recommend to all the beginners to like start contributing to the Kubernetes documentation in your language, like so that anyone in the future who would would be excited to learn about Kubernetes would like see through your contributions in your languages. So it will be so proud moment to like do to contribute. And next thing is like uh, thank you everyone for joining. We have amazing community uh, of amazing women in our Discord channel. Do join it. We will be sharing the link in the comment. And also, we are running a program, 90 Days of DevOps, which is ran by Rosaline. She is an amazing. She's a community builder in Women in Cloud Native. She's doing an amazing job. Anyone who would be like to join our 90 Days of DevOps, do join our Discord and share your learnings and meet amazing people like Carol and everyone. Yeah, so thank you so much everyone for joining. Thank you, Carol, for this amazing presentation. Thank you.
No, thank you everyone, and I am here for any questions also after.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.